We're going to start off in a child's pose, but before we get started, one of the things I want to share with you is the fact that today's practice is inspired by a lot of the recent activities that's been going on this past week. It seems like this past week and the week beforehand, all these billionaires seem to be wanting to go out in space. So it's kind of like the dreams that they may have had. And also, Friday is a full moon. And it's a great way for us to reflect back to what may be truly a dream of ours. So we're going to go into child's pose. So if you like, you can actually do wide-legged child's pose, or if you prefer, you're going to even have it your knees kind of close to each other. Ankle-wise, if this bothers you, you can always roll up blankets. You can place it underneath your ankles and or even between your thighs and your calf, and then have that there. And then as you place your forehead toward the floor, your mat, you may decide to place a block underneath there and then have your arms extended. When you're breathing here in child's pose, just feel as you're inhaling through your nose and exhaling, kind of like diaphragmatic breathing. So inhale fully, feel the expansion, and exhale completely. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And as you continue doing this, in between these, you're going to feel that between the inhale and the exhale, there's that space. You can have a slight little hold between, just short retention of your breath, and then continue on. This is a wonderful time for you to reflect back to your childhood dreams, but more importantly, the fact that as a child, we had that unrestricted belief and knowledge of being able to pursue what our hearts may desire. And with our breath, we know that God breathed life into us and how God has planned for us. So this may be a chance for you to hear God whisper on what he has in mind and stored. Feel the expansion of your back ribs, even your spine growing. And with that, we're going to slowly walk our hands underneath our shoulders, coming up into our tabletop. So we're already in our tabletop. These are directly underneath your hips, hip width apart. Wrists are underneath your shoulder width apart. Index fingers pointing straight up away from you, and your thumbs spread toward each other, and your other three fingers spread out as well. You're just going to do a couple cat-cows. As we inhale, drop your belly downward. Bring our gaze upward as our shoulder blades come toward each other. And then as we exhale, we're going to reverse, arching our back up so that we can go into our cat. Tuck your tailbones under, tuck your chin down. Inhale, going into our cow. Exhale as you go into your cat. Now we're going to do this a couple times, but we're going to do this as a flow. So as we inhale, we go into our cow pose. And as we exhale, we can slowly kind of go back into your child's pose. So I'll demonstrate, and you can go match your own breath cycle. So as we inhale into cow pose, as we exhale, arching our back, we kind of gradually go backwards. Inhale, sweeping forward, cow pose. Exhale, arching up, cat, pushing back into our child's pose. Now, if by chance this bothers your knees, you don't have to go do it. It's always important to listen to what our body is telling us. We're getting a little bit more motion to our joints. So if you're hearing a lot of crackles and stuff like that, we're just getting some of the joints moving. Matching your breath. Really opening up. Nice, beautiful flow. And then when we get back into our tabletop, reposition yourself, make sure you're nice and settled. And we're going to extend our right foot right behind us. So right leg straight. You can always drop your big toe toward the floor. But if your right leg is lifted up, make sure that the right hip and left hip are still on the same plane. Because we are going to highlight some of the moon, we're going to bend the right knee so that the sole of our feet up toward the sky, up toward heaven. We're going to knock 3 times. So up slightly, 1, 2, 3. Bring it down. Now, keeping your knees bent, you can extend your left arm toward the front, palms toward the center line. And as you exhale, bring your right knee to touch your left elbow. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it to each other. Inhale, up. Exhale, bring it together. Inhale, up. And drop your left hand down, right knee down. I'm just going to draw big circles, rotating around the moon. So imagine we're just doing system checks here. If we're about to blast off like some of those different billionaires going out in space, we know that we have the capability or desires to go in the opposite direction. Now, as we had started off in child's pose, whenever your body wants to take a nice little rest, make sure you decide to go back to child's pose. Let's go in the other direction. Left leg straight back, flexing that left foot, left hip and right hip still nice and even. Now we're going to bend that left knee. You can feel your gluteus starting to engage there. We're going to knock 3 times. So up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, if you like, you can extend your right arm straight, and you can always keep your right hand down, right arm out. And then we're going to do that nice little crunch. So inhale, as you exhale, bring your left knee to touch your right elbow. Inhale, now straighten. Exhale, back in. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, back in. Inhale. Let's drop our right hand down, left knee down. Beautiful. Let's go rotate again. We're engaging the core, really firing up the different areas because it's really important whenever we are going to do anything to have a firm foundation. We go in the opposite direction too. This time we're going to place our right leg straight out, and then we're going to bring it to the right side. So extending your right leg to the outside, to the right side. Your arch of your right foot is going to be in the same line as your left knee, and then we're going to come on up. We're going to come on up. I'm going to rotate so you can see me. We're in Heaven's Gate. Inhale your arms all the way up. As you exhale, you can either pull your left wrist high with your right thumb and index finger, arch over, or if you prefer, you can even drop your right hand down. Just make sure you don't place it on your knee, and then perhaps rotate your palm up toward heaven and breathe in here. Just feeling that nice, beautiful lateral stretch. Exhale as we bring our hand down underneath our left shoulder. So here's the thing. You want to keep your left hip still over that left knee. If this makes it more accessible, you may place your hand underneath under a block. Well, your block under your hand. I want to see you place it under the block. And or you can just be on the floor. And then you're going to raise your right arm up. And then lift the right leg up. All right. Remember, we're going to have to check the fuel pump. So as we exhale, bring your right knee toward your right elbow. Open up. Exhale, bring it in. Open up. And maybe just partial. You don't have to go all the way in and all the way up. And really to find even more of a abductor, lift right leg up, down, up, down, up, down. Oh, yeah. Let's walk your hands in front of you and be very, very mindful as we do slight little mini cat cow. So you're going to slightly tuck your tailbone, exhale down. Just really working the pelvic floor. We're going to switch out here again. So right knee in, left leg extended. Walking your hands under your shoulders, coming back up. Again, you may choose to place your block on the other side. Check your positioning. You want to make sure your right hip's over that right knee. Left leg extended, straight in the same plane. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, so you lift your right arm up using your left thumb and index finger. Exhale over to the side. So try to stay in the same plane instead of scrunching over. You can drop your left hand down. You can rotate the right palm up to receive what God has blessed for you. Inhale again, and as you exhale, bring your right hand right below your shoulder. Checking your alignment. Roll your right hips over your right knee, left arm up, and then lifting your left leg up. Going to do that nice little scrunching. So kind of like exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and then lift up. Lifting your left legs upward inside. Oh, you're feeling the muscle. Great. Excellent. Bring that left foot down. Walking your hands in front of you. Your left leg is so extended. And just do kind of like your mini cat cow. Be very, very careful. Not too much. Just feel the stretch. Really noticing what areas of your core, how they're all interconnected. And that's the beauty of yoga. It's a union of the mind, body, and spirit. And then we're going to bring our left knee in. So rotate that here. And then as we get ready, we're going to tuck our toes. We're going to walk our hands just up a half a handprint toward the top of our mat. Engaging your core and lifting your knees up off the ground. And then slowly start pressing your hands away from you, pushing that mat away from you so that your hips can be behind you. You slowly lift up and straighten your knees. So we're going into our first downward facing dog for this class. You may want to bend your left knee, extend your right heel toward the mat, and then alternate by bending your right knee, extend your left heel to the mat, and then you can walk your dog. You know, sometimes going to space is really important to be physically, but also mentally strong, so we know where our strength comes from. So we're going to slowly walk your feet a little bit wider, then walk your hands toward your body, toward your feet. And then as you're in this really low squat, you're going to start bending your knees more so you're in your Masana. I trick you into your little squat. So you're in a squat. You may not be all the way down. That's completely fine. Your hands may be at heart center. And I want you to imagine, this is almost like when we would blast off. We're going to slowly come on up, starting to stand. So slowly, you're going to feel your quads really working, muscles around your knees. Inhale your arms all the way up. Slight little back bend. With your exhale, inhale back to center. Hands at heart center. Rotate your toes so they're still outward. And then you're going to slowly come back down. Slow. So you want your knees to be in the same direction as your toes. And then walk your hands in front. We're coming back in that downward facing dog. Walk it in front of you. Bring your right foot up behind you. We're going to place your right foot right by your right hand. So you have the option to just walk it forward, or you can even drop your left knee down and walk your right foot forward. So we're in our low lunge, having that left knee up off the ground. You may choose to use your blocks if you like. You can always have the blocks underneath your hands. Mine's on the other side. And then check your alignment. Right knee over that right ankle. Just pull slightly back and forth. just think how important, even though some of those different billionaires were trying to perhaps be the first one to go out in space, we all know how important it is to make sure that you don't cut corners. You want to make sure that safety checks, everything's okay from the control systems to any of the mechanical pieces, even the passengers inside. And then we're going to step up with your left foot, forward fold. You can have your knees bent. You can grab your opposite elbow, shake your head, and you feel how one side feels a lot different than the other side. Inhale your hands to your shin, nice flat back. Exhale your hands all the way down toward the mat, forward fold. Take a step back with your right foot. Your left knee is now over the left ankle. Low lunge again. Check your alignment there and then pulse slightly. Bend your hand onto the mat. Take a step back with your left foot, downward facing dog. Your downward facing dog may be feeling a lot more familiar with you, and you can always choose to go into your child pose. Inhale to plank, top of a push-up, or you can always drop your knees. If you're in your knees, you can slowly, knees, chest, chin, so slowly lower yourself. We're going into baby cobra. So let's see if you can lift up your heart, lift up your gaze. Feel all the systems all activated. As we tuck our toes, press ourselves back up into that downward facing dog. This time, right foot comes up behind you, three-legged dog. We're gonna bend that right knee, rotate your right ankle. And we're gonna bring the right foot back to where your right hand was again. This time, we're going to a balance. So lifting up off the floor. So your arms come up. If this is a big challenge, you always drop your left knee onto the floor and use that for stability, okay? Again, lift your heart up, lift your gaze up toward the sky, toward heaven, and the stars. Exhale, right hand, both hands back down. Take a step back, your right foot. Inhale to plank. You can always choose to do a child's pose, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. You go in baby cobra, or if you're warmed up, you can always go into upward facing dog. Yogi's choice, but only see if everything is ready. See if your vessel is properly and prepared. Tucking your toes back into downward facing dog. This time, your left foot comes up behind you, three-legged dog. Bending your left knee, rotating your ankle. Bring your left foot forward towards your left hand. Coming up in that crescent balance. So again, check your stability, lifting up, lift your heart, lift your gaze. And you have the option to drop your right knee onto the floor, completely fine. Exhale, place your hand down, take a step up your right foot, forward fold. Inhale your hands to your shin, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, slowly come up, sweeping your arms all the way up toward heaven, gathering in, praising God. Exhale your hands at heart center. How are we doing? Right? Sweeping our hands all the way up. Slight lower back bend. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale your hands to your shin, flat back. Exhale, take a step back, your right foot behind you. This time, you can place your right hand onto the mat. Inhale your left arm up toward heaven. Nice little spinal twist. If it's okay, you can bring your gaze up toward your left hand. Exhale your left hand back down. Take a step back with your left foot, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. You can do knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga, or yogi's choice, child's pose. And exhale into downward facing dog. This time, right foot up behind you. Bring the right foot forward. Left hand is on the mat. Inhale your right arm up toward the heavens. Bring your gaze upward. Right knee sole over that right ankle. Exhale your right hand down. Take a step up with your left foot. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale as you sweep your arms slowly all the way up. Exhale, slight back bend. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands heart center. All right. So hopefully you're nice and warmed up. And then this is a challenge with me using the carpet in the library. So we're going to do star pose. So just think about this. First, we had praise him, sun and moon. Praise him, all you shining stars. So we're going to inhale your arms together. Bring your hands at heart center. Check your feet positioning. So you're going to have your right foot as your standing foot. I want to place your hands down by your side. And then as you slightly lift your left leg up to the side, maybe bring your arms out. And you can choose how far, how high you want to go. It's okay. Most important thing are staying connected with your breath. You're staying connected with God. And when you're ready, you can actually bring your leg behind you and then perhaps fold forward. So when I say fold forward, you may choose to have a block in front. You go into almost like a standing split. So as you, I'll demonstrate again, as you were in star pose, as you bring it sweep behind you, slightly bend your right knee, bring your hands in front. You may grab onto your block or onto the floor. Try to have your right hip and left hip still square with each other. And fold forward. You may choose to bend your right knee slightly, placing your hands on the block. And if you want, you can maybe just play around and maybe lift your hands up off the block. Lift your hands at namaste hand in prayer pose and go into a warrior three. It's kind of like airplane, like you're flying. Hands could be in front, be on the side. Then when you're ready, place it back behind you and then rotate back to the mat. And then we're going to just drop your left foot back behind you. Drop your left knee down. And then we're just going to straighten your right leg. So you're going to go into a half split the other way. So you can walk your right foot forward. Have your hands on your blocks or whatever prop you have. Try to keep your alignment. So your right hip and left hip still square with each other. If you like, you can slowly hinge at the hip, coming forward. Just get a little bit more of a stretch along your hamstring. Some people may feel along their calf muscle. And bending your right knee. Tucking your left toes underneath you. Straighten your left knee. Take a step back with your right foot into your downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. And chaturanga down. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. All right. You can either walk your feet toward your hand or your hands toward your feet. We're going to stand back up because we have to do star pose on the other side. So I'm going to be facing the top of my mirror because then when I grab my block, I'll need it. So that was a little weird when I was facing you. So this time you're going to be balancing on your left foot. The left foot, hands at heart center, and then you open up. And we just lift your right leg up to the side. We know that those who are wise will shine as bright as the sky. And those who lead many others to righteousness will shine like the stars. And then maybe sweep your right foot behind you, folding forward, and then maybe place your hand on the floor or on blocks. So we're doing our standing split. Feeling your standing leg really being firm along the glute. Dropping, so bending your left knee a lot, dropping your right foot behind you, almost like you're in that lunge again. Dropping your right knee down and tucking your toes. The top of your right foot's on the mat, and then you slowly straighten your left knee. So we did these standing splits. One was a standing split. Now we're doing the half split in this position. So a little bit more stability. Bring your right knee, bend your right knee. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to step up with the right foot. And then heel toes your feet outward, come back down to that squat so that we can actually be seated. All right, so our soles of feet are touching each other, Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. Soles of feet are touching each other. You may have your blocks near you. If you want, you make this a little bit restorative, having it underneath your knees, either way. And then, again, great way to figure out if we have systems checked by make sure the foundation is set firmly. So your sit bone should be connected to your mat. Sometimes you might have to even move out the flesh a little bit just to make contact. And then if you like, you can actually start hinging at your hip. So hinging at your hip, you can use your hands, but just make sure you're not yanking yourself forward. And imagine some of these spaceships that are going out in space, they probably put certain different types of thermal film on it. And it's not like they're going to just immediately paint it on there and boom, let's get going. So sometimes they have to place it on there and then take time for it to really coat everything. So the same thing, we're allowing time for our body to relax, our muscles to relax, so for our fascias, ligaments to open so that maybe we can go deeper. Use this opportunity to explore what your body may be experiencing. Notice if your jaw's tight. If so, can you slightly part your teeth from each other, but keep your lips closed so it's just that nice, gentle. Or perhaps you may discover that placing a small little half smile on your face changes how your body and mind feels. You're going to slowly come on up. And then we're going to use your hands to invite our knees up toward each other. And then, because with any kind of moon, we know that the moon really affects the ebb and flow of the ocean waves on Earth. We're going to do a Navasana or a boat pose. So with your knees bent, your heels are actually on the mat right now. So you have some options. You can choose to stay in this position. Just pretend you're pressing your heels into the mat and trying to drag it toward you. When you do that, you can feel that engagement in your core. If you like to do the Navasana, you can place your hands underneath your shoulders, keep your lower back straight, lean back by bending your elbows a little bit, and then lifting your heels up off the ground. And if you're noticing you're maybe shaking some, oh yeah, think about it. When they're about to launch off, I bet you there's a lot of things rumbling, a lot of things shaking. So just imagine you're in that pilot seat right now. Things are shaking. You can choose to stay here because it's still working. If it's shaking, the magic's happening. Or if you want, you can always place your hand gently underneath your knees just to kind of prompt it. Or you can lift your arms up. You can even straighten your knees. I'm going to stay here. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, hug your knees to your chest. So you do know that they usually go through a couple different trials and attempts before they actually launch off. So we're going to do it again. So ready this time. Hands can be behind your shoulders. You can choose. And your mind may be already ready. So it may already go into a deeper or a different option. Continue your breathing. And when you're ready, bring your soles, your feet toward each other again. And then again, if you like, you can fold forward. This time when you come up, you're going to cross your ankles. And cross your ankles. And this is a little bit challenging. You're going to cross your ankles, lean forward, and perhaps, and if this is it, I'll show you a different option. Perhaps you can get up this way. And then ultimately, we're going to get back down to our hands and knees. So if you're like, maybe not, you can always choose to just cross your ankles and then just bring your hands to the side and then rotate. So yogi's choice. So we're on our hands and knees again, lifting our hips up, almost like in a downward facing dog. And then bring your right knee right behind your right wrist, going into a pigeon pose. So right knee's underneath, right behind your right wrist. Your left knee is going to drop behind, still in the same track of where your left hip should be. So make sure it doesn't come inward. Then you allow your left leg to go straight back from where that left knee, left hip should be at. You can choose this. Now, depending on what your intention was, if you wanted this to be more strengthening, you would bend your left knee, and then you can feel your left gluteus engaging. That's only if that was your choice. You may choose to even reach back, grab it. But let's just say, and you can actually feel a nice little quad stretch. But for others that may have set for their intention, if they want to be a little bit more stretching, maybe a little more relaxing or restorative, you can slowly, same thing, allow time for your hip to open up. And maybe you start going down lower or staying where you're at. You can use blocks. You may even choose to have a block so it's on it's top level. I always call the blocks kind of like the three bears. You got the Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear, but you can find out which one is just right. So you may choose to place the blocks so it's underneath your forehead, even a little massage. If you lower down. If you feel like your knee is bothering your right knee, you can flex that right foot and make sure that the heel comes down toward your pelvis, so you're not straining the knee there. So again, in the news, we hear about how Richard Branson just went out in space the other week, and then Jeff Bezos recently. We know it's important that maybe it's just a childhood dream that they both had, which is wonderful that they did, but more importantly, that it wasn't ego. And with yoga, we know to not have the ego, not have our pride work itself, so that what we do on our own mat, what we do in our own life, isn't based on what others or what the culture or society around us is doing. We know that God has a plan for each of us, such an amazing plan designed specifically for each unique creation of His. It's children of God. Now we're going to slowly walk our hands underneath our shoulder. We're going to roll over to the right side of our hips. We're going to slowly sweep our left foot around so that your left foot is on the outside of your right thigh. Now, that's easier said than done. If it's not touching there, one of the things you want to sense is whether or not your right sits bone and your left sits bone is making contact with the floor. And that may not be, and if that's for you, then maybe you might want to straighten your right leg straight, and you're still having the left foot on the outside of your right, on the right side of your right leg, right knee. So if you can keep that. That's just going to help with some stretch. But again, you still want to feel those both sits bone, both connection to the earth. And then you're going to bring your right elbow and just slightly hug your left knee, placing your left hand right behind you, keeping the crown of your head up toward heaven. Just think about it. You're a child of God. Therefore, you're either the princess of God, so you're crowned up toward heaven, vertebrae is nice and straight, and then you place your hands down, your left hand down on the mat behind you. So you can be on your fingertips. If it doesn't reach anything, you can always use your block, place it there. Just make sure you're not scrunching your left shoulder upward. Slight little spinal twist here. As you're breathing, you may be able to feel your belly pressing up against your left leg. Slowly, we're going to de-rotate, bringing both hands over to the right side of your mat, making contact to the earth, and then just bending, folding forward a little bit. Just feel a little bit of release in your lower back. You're going to detangle yourself. And then you can do the exact same thing what we did beforehand. So you could cross your ankles, come up using that core strength, or you can just rotate to your left side and rotate around. So come here, come back, take a step back. So we're in that partial downward facing dog. This time we're going to bring our left knee behind our left wrist, going back into our pigeon pose. And again, for pigeon, people can always choose to do the supine pigeon where you're on your back, making that figure four. That is always an option. So same thing, sensing where your left knee is at, your right hip still squared, keeping your both hips squared, and then your left foot is in the same line of where your left hip is at. So again, for strengthening, you can always flex that, bend that right knee. You may choose to reach back for it. And if you're kind of kicking your right foot into your hand, you can feel that stretch. Or your option may be allowing that nice, beautiful time to marinate it. Just imagine spending time with God. There is nothing better than that. That peace, feeling that special joy. Perhaps just listening to your breath, hearing his voice. Slowly, we're going to come up, walking our hands so that's underneath our shoulders. And do the same thing as we're going to roll over to our left hip, sweeping our right leg around so that the right foot is on the left side of our left knee. See if you can have both sit bone make connection. You can always straighten that left leg. And this time you're going to have your left elbow just hugging onto the right knee, extending your right arm behind you. So again, crown of your head up toward heaven, spine nice and straight. Beautiful small twist. Don't want to force anything. Then you're going to slowly derotate. Bring both hands over to the left side of your mat. Bending your elbows slightly. Feeling the release. And then coming back to center and detangling our feet. So I think I'm going to have to move my, I can't even see my mat. And that's okay. How are you all doing? You okay? Thumbs up. All right. So this is where we're going to start getting onto our back. If you have two blocks, make sure they're within arm reach. So kind of like in the middle area of your mat. Couple things. If you feel like you can lower yourself down without slamming your spine onto the mat, you can lower yourself down this way. Or I would recommend just rolling over to the right side and then rolling down onto your back. So I just want to make sure, think about it. Our spine is where our whole central nervous system, everything goes down there. So you don't want to do any kind of impact there. So you can either lower yourself down slowly or just roll over to the side. So once we're down on our back, we're going to have our knees bent. Soles of our feet are on the mat. Knees are bent, so the feet are on the mat, close to our glutes. We're going to go into our bridge pose, but a couple different options here. So you can have the standard bridge pose where your hands are down by your side. Or if you like, you can do what I've been doing recently, having what I call robot arms. So your arms down by your side, fingertips up toward heaven, palms toward each other. And then I'd like for you to sense as you exhale, slightly lower your lower back to make contact to the mat. And then start lifting your hips up off the ground. So slight lift up, lift off, lifting upward, knees coming away from you, and start raise your hip upward. So you can feel your glutes starting to really engage, probably feeling the stretch along your quads. Make sure your knees don't fall apart. Keep your gaze up toward heaven. So important for us to keep our gaze on him. And then when you're ready, start lowering down one vertebrae at a time. So making contact down to the ground. So here's where the yogis get an option. So if your intention initially was just to have a flow, You can do the exact same thing what we just did and just go up and down to your own breath count, nice and slow. If you wanted to be this to be more strengthening as you get up, so I'll demonstrate for the strengthening one. So as you lower your back down, start lifting your hips up, all the way up. If you want it strengthening, then you're just going to straighten your right leg so that your right knee and left knee are still in alignment with each other. And you're really feeling your left glutes really having to work. You're activating the right leg as well. And then you switch out, drop your right foot down, and then lift your left leg, straighten the left leg. So those are the options. You can do this for strengthening, or if you want it to be more flow, just lower it back down like what we did. Inhaling, lifting it up. Exhale, back down. So you have the option, or you can choose to do a combination of it. Your physical body is your vessel. It's the temple. You want it to be nice and clean, strong. What is most fitting for you? So lastly, when you have your hips all the way up, you have the option to reach for the block, my block, and placing it underneath your sacrum. So where the flat triangular spot is, and you can choose, again, like I said, the blocks are kind of like three bears. You can choose what height, what is the most perfect height for you. So a lot of times people like baby bear, where if you have the wider flat area up against your sacrum, or some people might even like mama bear. So it's on the lengthwise. Papa bear is pretty extreme, so I wouldn't highly recommend that one. And then you can have your hands down by your side, palms facing up toward heaven. You can keep your knees bent. It's completely fine. Maybe you can feel it a little bit relaxing. If this doesn't feel good or feels too intense, you can always lower it down the next one. Some may choose to straighten your knees so that your heel is resting onto the floor. If you do both legs and it feels too intense, you can always bend one knee at a time and just have one leg straighten. And just helping to open up the meridian line. See if you can relax and just allow the fascia to stretch. And connect with your breath. Feel yourself up in space. Discover and explore how your body feels, how your mind, what it's feeling, this weightlessness perhaps. If you had one leg straightened, you may want to switch out now to the other side. This time you're going to bend one knee, placing the foot on the mat, bending the other knee, place that foot on the mat, and slightly lift your hips upwards so that you can remove the block. And then again, slowly lower yourself, making one vertebrae at a time, making contact. You know, hug your right knee in, hug your left knee in, rock a little bit side to side. Keeping your fingers interlaced around your right knee, hug that right knee in. Straighten your left leg so that the sole of your feet, your left foot is up toward heaven. And then slowly lower that left leg. Nice and slowly, gentle, almost like it's doing a touchdown. So imagine yourself pressing that left heel away from you as far away as possible. And perhaps you can feel even the left hip socket, opening up a little bit more. The left leg making contact to the floor. Inhale here, and as you exhale, hug that right knee to your chest again. If you like, you can flex that right foot. You may notice how it may make it a little bit more accessible to you, or maybe not. Again, this is your chance to discover and explore. And as you continue breathing here, inhalation and exhalation, feel that belly rising on the left side. So this is when removing pose. Block your ascending colon. Keep your left hand on top of your right leg. Extend your right arm out from your shoulder. If you like, you can actually invite your right leg over your extended left leg. Couple options. If you want to keep your right shoulder onto the mat, maybe a little bit more of a thoracic spinal twist. And maybe your right leg is just hovering over the ground. That's completely fine. If you want to make it a little bit more restorative, you can always try to move the block so that maybe it's your right leg's resting on top of it. Just an option. You have the option also to bring your gaze over toward your right fingertips. And keep breathing. I always imagine out in space, you can hear yourself breathing. As you rotate, bring your gaze back to center. Start bringing your right knee up toward center. Bend your left knee. So your left knee and your right knee to your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. Bring both hands over to your left knee, hugging your left knee to your chest. Extend your right leg up by straightening that right knee. Right foot's up toward heaven, and we're going to slowly lower it down. So again, as if you're doing the touchdown, if it's making contact to earth, nice and slow. We definitely don't want a hard impact. That would not be good. Once you feel your right heel make contact with the floor, press through your right heel so it's even further away from you. Feeling your right hip engaging that socket area, just opening up a little bit more. Perhaps your right leg makes contact to the floor, your mat more. Flexing the left foot. Inhale here, and as you exhale, hug your left knee a little bit closer. Keep breathing here. Allow the full inhalation and full exhalation. Feeling that rise and fall. This time, you're going to have your right hand over that left leg. Extend your left arm out from your left shoulder. Inhale here, and as you exhale, you may invite that left leg over that extended right leg. And again, it's your choice if you want the left shoulder making contact to the floor, or you can allow yourself to have your left leg be the one that has more of a twist. So you have the option if you want your shoulder on the ground and maybe your leg isn't making contact to the floor. I could maybe contact it, but I don't want to force it. So I'm going to place a block underneath my left leg. If you have sciatica, you might just want to bend your lower leg to make it match with your upper leg. So it's all in that 90-degree angle, 90, 90, 90, being right. And we know that the only way that we can be righteous is through Christ. And you have the option to bring your gaze over to your left finger. These are just options. Become aware of what your body is messaging or signaling to you so that you can respond appropriately. When you're ready, bring your gaze back to center. You start to derotate, lifting your left leg up, bend your right knee, hugging both knees to your chest. And as we get ready to step beforehand, you may want to place a block underneath your shoulder. Do like little fish pose, but more importantly, open up our heart. And if by chance this is extreme for your neck, you may choose to have another block behind your head. And the fortunate thing is, again, you have the choice of what level. So your shoulder, your block that's underneath your shoulder, under where the bra strap normally would be. It opens up your shoulder, your collarbones open up as well. And you can place your hands down by your side. Yogi's choice, you can have your knees bent. You can even keep your soles of your feet touching each other to Baddha Konasana, published pose, if you want to still open up the hips more. Or you can extend your legs almost like as if in Shavasana. So whatever allows your heart to be open. Keep your eyes closed to bring yourself inward. Seeing what you can relax. You can not only feel your breath, you can hear your own breath. Now, as we get ready to go into our final pose, Shavasana, you can choose to stay here, or if you like, you can go into your traditional Shavasana by removing the blocks from underneath you. I encourage you to sense as you're breathing here, as you inhale through your nose, imagine inhaling whatever word you want. Because we know that God breathed life into us. Each inhale is the energy, the prana. Inhale the knowledge of God. Maybe love, maybe inhaling love, what you need, what your heart's desire. And as you exhale, you may want to, it's almost like the exhaust. You're exhaling whatever does not serve you. So exhale anything that might be keeping you back from achieving what you are meant to be, what you were created to be. And perhaps exhaling stress, or if it was pain, exhaling the pain from you, or obstacles. So inhaling what you know to be true. Using this time to reflect how the full moon reflects the light of the sun. As you're ready, we're going to bring some awareness back in your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes, stretching your toes out wide, stretch using your fingers. Then rotating your ankles and your wrists, rotating in the opposite direction. You may want to inhale your arms over your head, and then having your feet walk toward each other and pointing your toes away from you. Really stretching yourself really long, being as big as possible, because we know that we can be full of amazing possibilities. Our God provides us with the strength. And as you exhale, you're going to bend your knees, placing your feet on the mat and rolling over to the right side, having your hand underneath your head, just carefully getting off the block if you had remained on the block. Keep your eyes closed. Using your upper arms, pressing yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Hands resting gently on top of your thighs, palms facing upward toward heaven to receive all the blessings that we continue to get from God. If you like to seal in your practice, you can have your thumb and your index finger touching each other gently, representing the eternal love that God has for us through his son, Jesus. As you inhale through your nose, exhale completely through your mouth. Deep inhale here through your nose. Full exhale, open mouth breath. Full inhale, complete cleansing exhale. Floating your hands together, palm touching palm, thumb resting right above your heart, tucking your chin down toward your heart. May this practice provide you with the awareness, the reflection of who you are, who God created you to be, that you can go to your childhood dreams, achieving more than what's on this world, but shine like the stars in the sky. Thank you for coming. Namaste.